I'm gonna. Well, wait. I'll be right back because it is an hour. I will get something called dryness. Yeah, so I need the water. Okay, here I am. You see, I was given time from. Yeah, you see, I was just given time for my massive, absolutely massive Twitch following to join in, so that everyone could hear the Bible. Okay, wait, gotta Instagram live this too. Checking connection. Connection of what? My internet? Ah, okay, so let's start. Genesis. Genesis chapter 31. Oh, wait, 31? Wow. Actually, no. Yes, we were. Oh, yeah, okay, so basically what happened in chapter 30 was that, like, Jacob, Jacob was like, hey, and then he went along and had, like a lot of children, remember that? Okay, he had a lot of children, and then he's like, okay, also, I'm gonna make your cows and then multiply. Okay? Chapter 31. And he heard the words of Laban's son, saying, Jacob hath taken away all that was our father, and all that was which our God, our fathers hath he got 10 all this glory. And Jacob beheld the countenance of Laban, and behold, it was not toward him as before. The Lord said unto Jacob, return unto the land of thy fathers, and to thy kindred, and I will be with thee. And Jacob sent and called Rachel and Leah to the field unto his flock, and said unto them, I see not your father's countenance, that it is not toward me as before, but the God of my father hath been with me. Where? What? Okay. And ye know that with all my power I have served your father, and your father hath deceived me, and changed our wages 10 times. But God suffered him not to hurt me. If he said thus, he speckled shall be thy wages, then all the cattle bear speckled. And if he said thus, the ring-straked shall be thy hire, then bear all the cattle ring-straked. Thus God hath taken away the cattle of your father, or given them to me. And it came to pass at the time that the cattle conceived, that in lifted up mine eyes, and saw in a dream, behold, the rams which leaping upon the cattle were ring-straked, speckled, and grizzled. And the angel of God spake unto me in a dream, saying, Jacob. And I said, Here I am. And he said, Lift up now thine eyes, and see all the rams which led upon the cattle are ring-straked. Yeah, okay, I was saying that right. Ring-straked, speckled, and grizzled. For I have seen all that Laban doeth unto thee. I am the God of Bethel, where thou anointest the pillar, and where thou vowest a vow unto me. Now arise, get thee out from this land, and return unto the land of thy kindred. And Rachel and Leah answered and said unto him, Is there yet any portion of or inheritance for us in our father's house? Flipping page. Are we not counted of him, strangers? For he hath sold us, and hath quite devoured also our money, for all the riches which God hath taken from our father, that is ours, and our children's. Now then, whatsoever God hath said unto thee, do. Then Jacob rose up, and set his sons and his wives upon camels, and he carried away all the cattle, and all his goods which he had gotten, the cattle of his getting which he had gotten in Padan Aram, for to go to Isaac his father in the land of Canaan. And Laban went to shear his sheep, and Rachel had stolen the images that were her father's. And Jacob stole away unwariness to Laban the Syrian, in that he told him not that he fled. So he fled with all that he had, and rose up, and passed over the river, and he set his face toward the mount, toward the Mount Gilead. And it was told Laban on the third day that Jacob had fled, and he took his brethren with him, and pursued after him 7 days' journey, and they overtook him in the Mount Gilead. And God came to Laban the Syrian in a dream by night, and said unto him, Take heed that thou speak not to Jacob either good or bad. Then Laban overtook Jacob. Now Jacob had hitched his tent in the mount, and Laban with his brethren pitched up the Mount of Gilead. And Laban said to Jacob, What hast thou done, that thou hast stolen away unawares to me, and carried away my daughters as captives, taken with the sword? Wherefore didst thou flee away secretly, and steal away from me? And didst not tell me, that I might have sent thee away with mirth, and with songs, and tabret, and with harp? Question mark. And hast suffered me to kiss my sons and my daughters. Thou hast now done foolishly in so doing. It is in the power of my hand that to do you hurt. But the God of your father spake unto me yesternight, saying, Take thou heed, and thou speak not to Jacob either good or bad. And now though thou wouldest needs be gone, because thou sore long how do I say this? Okay, Longedst. Longest. Thou sore longest after thy father's house, yet wherefore hast thou stolen my gods? And Jacob answered and said to Laban, Because I was afraid, for I said, Peradventure thou wouldest take by force thy daughters from me. With whomsoever thou findest thy gods, let him not live before our brethren. Discern thou what is thine with me, and take it to thee. For Jacob knew not that Rachel had stolen them. And Laban went with Jacob's tent, and into Leah's tent, and into the 2 maidservants' tent, but he found them not. Then he went out of Leah's tent, and entered Rachel's tent. Now Rachel had taken the images, and put them in the camel's furniture, and sat upon them. And Laban searched all the tent, but found them not. And she said to her father, Let it not displease my lord that I cannot rise up before thee, for the custom of woman is upon me. And he searched, but found not the images. And Jacob was wroth, and chode with Laban. And Jacob answered and said to Laban, What is my trespass? What is my sin, that thou hast so hotly pursued after me? Whereas thou hast searched all my stuff, what hast thou found out of all thy household stuff? Set it here before my brethren and thy brethren, that they may judge betwixt us both. The 20 years have I been with thee. Thy ewes and thy she-goats have not cast their young, and the rams of thy flock have I not eaten. That which was torn of beasts I brought not unto thee. I bear the loss of it. Of my hand didst thou require it, whether stolen by day or stolen by night. Thus I was. In the day the drought consumed me, the frost by night, and my sleep departed from mine eyes. Thus have I been 20 years in thy house. I served thee 14 years for thy 2 daughters, and 6 years for thy cattle, and thou hast changed my wages 10 times. Except the God of my father, the God of Abraham, and the fear of Isaac had been with me, surely thou hadst sent me away now empty. God hath seen mine affliction, and the labor of my hands, and rebuked thee yesternight. And Laban answered and said unto Jacob, These daughters are my daughters, and these children are my children, and these cattle are my cattle. And all that thou seest is mine. And what can I do this day unto these my daughters, or unto their children which they have borne? Now therefore come thou, let us make a covenant, and I and thou, and let it be for a witness between me and thee. And Jacob took a stone and set it up for a pillar. And Jacob said unto his brethren, Gather stones. And they took stones and made a heap. And they did eat. There were upon a heap. And Laban called it... Oh. Sorry, I looked at the word and I kind of just froze in terror. Jegar Sahadutha. Jegar Sahadutha. But Jacob called it Gilead. And Laban said, This heap is a witness between me and thee this day. Therefore was the name of it called Gilead. Oh, Gilead? And Mizpath, for he said, The Lord watch between me and thee when we are absent one from another. If thou shalt afflict my daughters, or thou shalt take others' wives beside my daughters, no man is with us. See, God is witness betwixt me and thee. And Laban said to Jacob, Behold this heap, and behold this pillar, which I have cast betwixt me and thee. The heap be witness, and this pillar be witness, that I will not pass over this heap to thee, and that thou shalt not pass over this heap and this pillar unto me. For harm the God of Abraham and the God of Nahor and the God of their father judge betwixt us. And Jacob sware by the fear of his father Isaac. Then Jacob offered sacrifice unto the mount, and called his brethren to eat bread. And they did eat bread, and they tarried all night in the mount. And in the morning, and in the early morning, Laban rose up and kissed his sons and his daughters, and blessed them. And Laban departed, and returned unto his place. Chapter 32. So let's go over what we read in chapter 31. Basically... Oh wait, where did my cup of hydration go? I'll be back. I gotta go get it, and then we'll discuss chapter 32. Okay, I got my water. So basically what happened in chapter 31 was Jacob was like, hey yo, I'm gonna leave. And so he did. And then his wives were like, hey, please take us. Our father's, he basically just sold us to you. And then he's like, fine. So then he takes everything, and then the dad's like, hey, you took everything. But what he was really mad about was that his daughter, Rebecca, No, it wasn't Rebecca, it was Rachel. It was Rachel. Rachel took, I guess, some images, some, like, pictures from him. And then, hi Austin, we're doing a Bible stream. Wave emoticon. So basically, Rachel took something from him. It must have been like pictures of their mother, because you didn't hear the mother. You didn't hear about the mother in the story, so it probably took like some photos of the mother, and then they left. And then the father was like really mad, but then he got like a dream from God, and God's like, oh, please don't get mad at them. And then he's like, fine. And then he goes up to them, and then he's like, I need to search for my stuff. And then he's like, okay. And then he does. And then Jacob gets very angry. He's like, why did you just search through all my stuff? And then he's like, you see, yes, I'm sorry. How about we make a promise that we'll just all overlook this? Wait. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know, but they're just like, how about we forget about this whole incident? How about we all forgive each other? And then Jacob's like, sure. You know what? Bet, homie. And then he's like, okay. So let's build this pillar, okay? This is a symbol that we forgave each other, okay? And God can see this and God can see this and see that we have forgiven each other. And then he's like, you know what? I like this. And then he's like, okay, bye. And then he's like, okay, bye. Chapter 32. And Jacob went on his way, and the angels of God met him. And when Jacob, oh hi Gavir, we're doing Bible stream, wave emoticon. And when Jacob saw them, he said, wait. It's cause you said that you were basically begging me for it. You're like, hey, like as soon as you invite me to the party, you're like, hey Eros, can we do Bible stream? Yes. Okay, if you didn't want to do this, then we'll finish up chapter 32, and then I'll stop. Okay, well, we're not completing the Bible tonight. It's too long. Okay, we'll go for another 39 minutes. Thumbs up. Okay, okay, well, I mean, you see, you have multiple ways of watching this, okay? I'ma just continue. Okay, and when Jacob saw them, he said, this is God's host, and he called the name of the place Mahanaim. And Jacob sent messengers before him to Esau, his brother, unto the land of Seir, the country of Adam, and he commanded them, turning page. And he commanded them, saying, thus shall ye speak unto my lord Esau. Thy servant Jacob saith thus, I have sojourned with Laban, and stayed there until now, and I have oxen and asses, flocks and manservants and womenservants, and I have sent to tell my lord that I may find grace in thy sight. And the messengers returned to Jacob, saying, We come to thy brother Esau, and also he cometh to meet thee, and 400 men with him. Then Jacob was greatly afraid and distressed, and he divided the people that was with him, and the flocks and herds and the camels into 2 bands, and said, If Esau come to the one company and smite it, then the other company which is left shall escape. And Jacob said, O God of my father Abraham, and God of my father Isaac, the Lord which saidst unto me, return unto thy country and to thy kindred, and I will deal well with thee. I am not worthy of the least of all the mercies and all the truth which thou hast shewed unto thy servant. For with my staff I possessed over this Jordan, and now I am become 2 bands. Deliver me, I pray thee, from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esau. I fear him, lest he will come and smite me, and the mother with the children. And thou saidst, I will surely do thee good, and make thy seed as the sand of the sea, which cannot be numbered for multitude. And he lodged there that same night, and took of which came to his hand a present from Esau his brother, 200 she-goats and 20 he-goats, 200 ewes and 20 rams, 30 milch camels with their colts, 40 kine, and 10 bulls, 20 she-asses and 10 foals. And she delivered them into the hand of his servants, every drove by themselves, and said unto his servants, Pass over before me, and put a space betwixt drove and drove. And he commanded the foremost, saying, When Esau my brother meeteth thee, and asketh thee, saying, Who art thou, and whither goest thou? And whose are these before thee? Then thou shalt say, They be thy servant Jacob's. It is a present sent unto my lord Esau, and behold, he is behind us. And so commanded he second and the third, and all the followed the drove, saying on this manner, Shall ye speak unto Esau, when ye find them, and say ye moreover, behold, thy servant Jacob is behind us, for he said, I will appease him with a present that goeth before me, and afterward I will see his face. Peradventure he will accept me. So went the present over before him, and himself lodged that night in the company. And he rose up in the night, and took his 2 wives, and his 2 women servants, and his 11 sons, and and his 11, holy moly, and his 11 sons, and passed over the ford Jabbok. And he took them and sent them over the brook, and set over that he had. And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. When he saw that he was prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint, as he wrestled with him. And he said, Let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. And he said unto him, What is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, Thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince that hast thou power with God and with man, and hast prevailed. And Jacob asked him, and said, Tell me, I pray thee, thy name. And he said, Wherefore is it that thou doest ask after my name? And he blessed him there. And Jacob called the name of the place Peniel. For I have seen God face to face, of my life is preserved. And he passed over Peniel. The sun rose upon him, and he halted upon his thigh. Before the children of Israel eat not of the sinew which shrank, which is upon the hollow of the thigh, unto the day, because he touched the hollow of Jacob's thigh, and the sinew that shrank. Chapter 33. Let's go over what we read in chapter 32. Okay, so basically, Jacob and his boys, they're just walking around, and then they hear something. They're like, wait, we're going near where Esau is, and Esau wants to kill me, says Jacob. Oh, I have an idea. You guys will be bait, and if he kills all of you guys, then I'm gonna go away. And then they're like, sure. But now, I don't know what really happened. Like, after that, Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him. Okay, so basically, some guy just comes there and just starts fighting him. And then Jacob and this guy are fighting until daybreak. And then after that, the guy's like, okay, your name is no longer Jacob, but now it's Israel, okay? Israel. Yeah, like the country. Israel. Israel. Yeah, that is literally just the name of the country. Before it was a country. So, boom, there's more evidence the Bible's real. Haha. Okay, basic. And now they're just like, okay. Well, I guess now, yeah, and that's basically what happened. Sorry, I was drinking water. Chapter 33. And Jacob lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, Esau come, and with him 400 men. And he divided the children unto Leah, and unto Rachel, and unto the 2 handmaids. And he put the handmaids and their children foremost, and Leah and her children after, and Rachel and Joseph hindermost. And passed over them before, and bowed himself to the ground 7 times, until he came near his brother. And Esau ran to meet him, and embraced him, and fell on his neck, and kissed him, and they wept. And he lifted up his eyes, and saw the woman and the children, and said, Who are those with thee? And he said, The children which God hath graciously given thy servant. Then the handmaids came near, they and their children, and they bowed themselves. And Leah also with her children came near, and bowed themselves. And after them and after came Joseph near Rachel, and they bowed themselves. And he said, What meanest thou by all this drove which I meet? And he said, These are to find grace in the sight of my Lord. And Esau said, I have enough, my brother. Keep that thou hast unto thyself. And Jacob said, Nay, I pray thee, if now I have found grace in thy sight, then receive my present at my hand. For therefore I have seen thy face, as though I have seen the face of God, and thou was pleased with me. Take, I pray thee, my blessing that is brought to thee, because God hath dwelt graciously with me, and because I have enough. And he urged me, and he took it. And he said, Let us take our journey, and let us go. I will go before thee. And he said unto him, My Lord knoweth that the children are tender, and the flocks and herds with the young are with me. If men should overdrive them one day, all the flock will die. Let my Lord, I pray thee, pass over before his servant, and I will lead on softly according to the cattle that goeth before me, and the children be able to endure until I come unto my Lord Seir. And Esau said, Let me leave now. Let me now leave with thee some of the folk that are with me. And he said, What needeth it? Let me find grace in the sight of my Lord. So Esau returned that day on the way unto Seir. And Jacob journeyed to Succoth, and built him a house, and made booths for his cattle there. For the name of the place is called Succoth. And Jacob came to Shalem, a city of Shechem. I don't understand. What does it mean that you guys are sending requests? Sure. You know what? Yeah. Why not? Because apparently you guys are like sending requests to like join the stream. It is. Oh, yep. And Jacob came to Shalem, the city of Shechem, which is in the land of Canaan, when he came from Padan Aram, and pitched his tent before the city. And he brought a parcel of a field where he had spread his tent at the hand of the children of Hamor, Shemech's father, for 100 pieces of money. And he erected there an altar, and called it El Eloi Israel. Okay, so basically, what happened in chapter 33 was, Jacob was like, oh, okay, well, I gotta do it. And then he met up with his brother, Esau. It's like E-S-A-L. I'm pretty sure it's something like that. But basically, what happened after that is he's like, okay, and then they all made up. And now Jacob is like living in a different place. He's like, he built himself a house and everything. And it was Esau. He gave his brother Esau a blessing, which now Esau was like, that was the reason that they were all angry with each other, because Jacob stole Esau's blessing. But now Jacob kind of returned it back, and now they're all happy. Chapter 34. And Dinah, the daughter of Leah, which she bare unto Jacob, went out to see the daughters of the land. And when Shemeshan, the son of Hamor and Havite, prince of the country, saw her, he took her and lay with her, and defiled her. And his soul clave into Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, and he loved the damsel, and spake kindly unto the damsel. And Shemeshan spake unto his father Hamor, saying, Get me this damsel to wife. And Jacob heard that he had defiled Dinah, his daughter. His sons were with his cattle in the field, and Jacob held his peace until they were come. And Hamor, the father of Shemesham, went out unto Jacob to commune with him. And the sons of Jacob came out of the field where they had heard it. And the men were grieved, and they were very wroth, because he had wrathfully folly in Israel, in lying with Jacob's daughter, which thing ought not to be done. And Hamor communed with them, saying, The soul of my son Shemesham longeth for your daughter. I pray thee, you give her him to wife, and make ye marriages with us, and give your daughters unto us, and take our daughters unto you, and ye shall dwell with us, and the land shall be before you. Dwell and trade ye therein, and get you possessions therein. And Shemeshan said unto her father and unto her brethren, Let me find grace in your eyes, and what ye shall say unto me I will give. Ask me never so dwarly in gift. I will give according as ye shall say unto me, but give me the damsel to wife. And the sons of Jacob answered Shemeshan and Hamor his father deceitfully, and said, Because ye had defiled Dinah their sister. And they said unto them, We cannot do this thing, to give our sister to one that is uncircumcised, for that were a reproach unto us. But in this will we consent unto you, if ye will be as we be, that every male of you be circumcised, then will we give our daughters unto you. And we will take our daughters, and we will take your daughters to us, and we will dwell with you, and we will become one people. But if ye will not hearken unto us to be circumcised, then we will take our daughter, and we will be gone. And their words pleased Hamor and Shemesham, Hamor's son, and the young man deferred not to be the thing, because he had dwelt in Jacob's daughter, and he was more honorable than all of the house of his father. And Hamor and Shemesham his son came unto the gate of their city, and communed with the men of their city, saying, These men are peaceable with us, therefore let them dwell in the land, and trade therein, for the land, behold, it is large enough for them. Let us take their daughters to us for wives, let us give them our daughters. Only herein will the men consent unto us for to dwell with us, to be one people, if every male among us be circumcised, as they are circumcised. Shall not their cattle and their substance and every beast of theirs be ours? Only let us consent unto them, and they will dwell with us. And unto Hamor and Shemem and Shechem his son hearkened all that went out of the gate of his city, and every male was circumcised, and that went out of the gate of his city. And it came to pass on the third day, when they were sore, that two of the sons of Jacob, Simon and Levi, Dinah's brethren, took each man his sword, and came upon the city boldly, and slew all the males. And they slew Hamor and Shechem his son with the edge of the sword, and took Dinah out of Shechem's house, and went out. The sons of Jacob came upon the slain, and spoiled the city. Because they had defiled their sister, they took their sheep, and their oxen, and their asses, and that which was in their city, and that was was in the field. And all their wealth, and all their little ones, and all their wives took they captive, and spoiled even all that was in the house. And Jacob said to Simon and Levi, Ye have troubled me to make me to sink among the inhabitants of the land, among the Canaanites and the Perizzites, and I being few in number, they shall gather themselves together against me, and slay me, and I shall be destroyed, I and my house. And they said, Shall we deal with our sister as with harlots? I am not gay, Rat King. Okay, chapter 35. Let's go over what we read in chapter 34. Basically, Jacob was like, oh, hello. I guess these guys are our neighbors now. And then the neighbors, like, they basically, I guess, like, the son, Shechem, was like, ooh, I like Dina, their daughter. And then they had sex before marriage, which is a sin. I am not gay, Mr. Rat King. Okay. And basically, after that, Jacob and his sons were like, oh, how dare you? I heard that they defiled our sister. And basically what they did, they went in and they killed everyone. So, yeah, that is, oh, we're so close to Exodus. Huh. You know what? Screw reading for an hour. I'm just gonna read until I make it to Exodus, which is the second story of the book. Yes, Rat King, I am reading the Bible. I'm reading the Bible and drinking water. Chapter 35. And God said unto Jacob, Arise, go to Bethel, and dwell there, and make there an altar unto God, that appeared unto thee when thou fleddest from the face of Esau, thy brother. Then Jacob said unto his household, and to all that were with him, Put away the strange gods that are among you, and be clean, and change your garments, and let us arise, and go up to Bethel, and I will make there an altar unto God, who answered me in the day of my distress, and was with me in the way in which I went. I'll join in tomorrow at school, so you better be reading tomorrow. Oh, I will. No, well, not at all times. Probably every day. But, yeah. And they gave unto Jacob all the strange gods which were in their hands, and all their earrings which were in their ears. And Jacob hid them under the oak, which was by Shechem. And they journeyed, and their terror of God was upon the cities that were around them. And they did not pursue after the sons of Jacob. And Jacob came to Luz, which is in the land of Canaan, that is Bethel, he and the people that were with him. And he built there an altar, and called the place El Bethel, because their God appeared unto him, where he fled from the face of his brother. But Deborah, Rebekah's nurse, died. And she was buried beneath Bethel under an oak, and the name of it was called Alana Bachuleth. And God appeared unto Jacob again, and when he came out of Padan Aram, and blessed him. And God said unto him, Thy name is Jacob, thy name shall not be called any more Jacob, but Israel shall be thy name. And called his name Israel. And God said unto him, I am God Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall be of thee. And kings shall come out of thy loins, in the land which I gave Abraham and Isaac. To thee I will give it, and to thy seed after thee will I give the land. And God went up from him, and in his place where he talked with them, and Jacob set up a pillar in a place where he talked with him, even a pillar of stone, and poured a drink offering thereon, and he poured oil thereon. And Jacob called the name of the place where God spake with him Bethel. And they journeyed from Bethel, and there was but a little way to come to Ephrath. And Rachel travailed, and she had hard labor. And it came to pass, when she was in hard labor, that the midwife said unto her, Fear not, thou shalt hast his son also. Hi Ryan, I'm doing Bible stream. Wave emoticon. And it came to pass, as her soul was departing, for she died, that she called his name Benoni, but his father called him Benjamin. And Rachel died, and she was buried in the way of Ephrath, which is Bethlehem. Well, I'm reading the Bible, Ryan. Yeah, Bible stream, yeah. Yeah. It's nice. And Jacob set a pillar upon her grave, that is the pillar of Rachel's grave unto this day. And Israel journeyed and spread his tent beyond the tower of Idar. And it came to pass, when Israel dwelt in that land, and Reuben went and lay with Bilhah, his father's concubine, and Israel heard it. Now the sons of Jacob were 12. How far? I am in Genesis 22. Sorry, Genesis 35:22. I'm like 2 pages away from Exodus. I'm very happy. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, never mind. I'm like a couple wait, 50? I am 15 chapters away. I love that console. Had some great games. Where was I? Okay. And it came to pass, when Israel dwelt in the land... Okay, we just read that. The sons of Leah, Reuben, Jacob's firstborn, and Simon, and Levi, and Judah, and Issachar, and Zebulun, the sons of Rachel, Joseph, and Benjamin, the sons of Bilhah, Rachel's handmaid, Dan and Naphtali, and the sons of Zilpah, Leah's handmaid, Gad and Asher. These are the sons of Jacob, which were born to him in Padan Aram. And Jacob came unto Isaac his father unto Mamre, unto the city of Arabah, which is Hebron, where Abraham and Isaac sojourned. And the days of Isaac were 180 years. And Isaac gave up the ghost and died. And he gathered unto his people, being old and full of days. And his sons Esau and Jacob buried him. Chapter 26. So let's go over what we read in chapter 20 is 35, because that's what I do after every chapter. Okay, so basically, Jacob and his people, you know, they're just walking down, and then they see the city, and then they're like, and basically Jacob's like, he says basically to the people of the city, put away your fake gods. I'm coming in with the real one, okay? And then he built an altar there, and then sadly, his wife's nurse died, and then his wife went through a hard labor. Then she died, so it wasn't a very good time for Jacob. And now his name is no longer Jacob. It's Israel. So yeah. Yeah, and also Isaac also died. So a lot of death that chapter. Chapter 36. Now these are the generations of Esau. Who is Edom? Esau took his wives of the daughters of Canaan, Adah the daughter of Elan and Hittite, and this is going to be a hard word. Aholibama, the daughter of Anah, the daughter of Zibeon and Hivite, and Bashemath, Ishmael's daughter, sister of Nebajoth, and Adah bare to Esau. Eliphaz. Okay, man. Oh yeah, don't worry, I will. Very fun stream. One fact before I go. Okay? I assume that he's typing in the fact. I'll drink some water while he's typing the fact. Did you know the Bible by VeggieTales was released almost 19 years ago on December 31st, 2002? Really, VeggieTales made a version of the Bible. I did not know that. I have spoken. Okay, see you later, Ryan. Eliphaz and Bashemath bare Reuel, and Aholibama bare Jeush, and Jalam, and Korah. These are the sons of Esau, which were born unto him in the land of Canaan. And Esau took his wives, and his sons, and his daughters, and all the persons of his house, and all the cattle, and all his beasts, and all the substance which he had got in the land of Canaan, and went into the country from the face of his brother Jacob. For their riches were more than that they might dwell together in their land, and the land wherein they were strangers, cannot bear them, because their cattle. Thus dwelt Esu in Mount Seir. Esu is Edom. Esu is Edom. And these are the generations of Esu, the father of Edomites, in Mount Seir. These are the names of Esu's sons: Eliphaz, the son of Adah, and the wife of Esu; Reuel, the son of Bashemath, the wife of Esu. And the sons of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zepho, and Gatam, and Kenaz. And Temana was concubine to Eliphaz, Esu's son, and she bare to Eliphaz Amalek. These were the sons of Adah, Esu's wife. And there are the sons of Reuel, Naath, and Zerah. Shema and Mazah were the sons of Bashemath, Esu's wife. Ezus's wife. Sorry, they've never put an apostrophe S behind Esu's name, so I really had struggled with that. And these were the sons of Aholibama, the daughter of Anah. The daughters of Zibeon, Esu's wife, and she bare to Esu Jeush, and Jalam, and Korah. These were dukes of the sons of Esu, the sons of Eliphaz, the firstborn son of Esu: Duke Teman, Duke Omar, Duke Zepho, Duke Kenaz, Duke Korah, Duke Gadam, and Duke Amalek. These are the dukes that came from Eliphaz in the land of Edom. These were the sons of Adah. And these are the sons of Reuel, Esu's son: Duke Naath, Duke Zerah, Duke Shema, Duke Mizah. These are the dukes that came from Reuel in the land of Edom, that are the sons of Bashemath, Esu's wife. And these are the sons of Aholibama, Esu's wife. Wait, I gotta sneeze. Duke Jeush, Duke Jalam, Duke Korah. These were the dukes that came of Aholibama, daughter of Anah, Ezus's wife. I think I gotta sneeze again. It's gone. These are the sons of Esu, who is Edom, and these are their dukes. There are the sons of Seir and Horites, who inhabited the land: Lotan, and Shobal, and Zeban, and Anah, and Dishon, and Ezer, and Dishon. These are the dukes of the Horites, the children of Seir in the land of Edom. And the children of Lotan were Hori and Hamam, and Lotan's sister was Timana. And the children of Shobal were these: Alavan, and Manahath, and Ebal, Shifo, and Onam. These are the children of Zibeon, both Ajah and Anah. This was that Anah that found the mules in the wilderness, as he fed the asses of Zeban his father. And the children of Anah were these: Dishon and Aholibama, the daughter of Anah. And these are the children of Dishon: Hemdan, and Ishban, and Ithran, and Cheran. The children of Ezer are these: Bilhan, and Zavan, and Akam. The children of Dishan are these: Uz, and Aaron. These are the dukes that came of the Horites: Duke Lotan, Duke Shobal, Duke Zibeon, Duke Anah, Duke Dishon, Duke Ezer, Duke Dishan. These are the dukes that came of Hori, among their dukes in the land of Seir. And these are the kings that reigned in the land of Edom, before they reigned any king over the children of Israel. And Bela the son of Beor reigned in Edom, and the name of his city was then Haba, and Bela died, and Jobab, the son of Zerah of Bozrah, reigned in his stead. And Jobab died, and Husham of the land of Temani reigned in his stead. And Husham died, and Hadad the son of Badad, who smote Midian in the field of Moab, reigned in his stead. And the name of his city was Avith. And Hadad died, and Samlah of Masrekah reigned in his stead. And Samlah died, and Saul of Reboth by the river reigned in his stead. And Saul died, and Balahanan the son of Achbor reigned in his stead. And Balahanan the son of the Achbor and Hadar reigned in his stead. The name of his city was Pau, and his wife's name was Mehetable, the daughter of Matred, the daughter of Mezahab. And these are the names of the dukes that came of Esu, according to their families, after their places, by their names: Duke Tamana, Duke Avla, Duke Jepheth, Duke Aholibama, Duke Alab, Duke Painan, Duke Kanaz, Duke Teman, Duke Mibzar, Duke Magdiel, Duke Iram. These be the dukes of Adam, according to their habitations of the land of their possession. He is Esu, the father of the Edomites. Chapter 37. Let's go over what we read in chapter 36. Basically, a whole bunch of people had children, and these people had children, and their children had children, and their children had children, and their children had children, and then they became dukes, and then there were kings, and then it was just a whole bunch of naming. That was a hard chapter to read, because it was a whole bunch of naming, and I physically cannot name. Speak, Solomon. Okay, Solomon, do you want to keep on going, or do you want to stop? Okay, I'm gonna stop for tonight, because he said that he has to go in 20 minutes. And, well, you see, I don't want to read the Bible on my own. Well, I mean, I do. But you see, it's more fun when I'm teaching you about it. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm gonna just end the stream here. Basically, I think